Like an old married couple at breakfast they sat, with a note from Fred Porlock in hand. Holmes examined the envelope, writing and flap, the Greek E with the flourish would stand. You have heard me speak of Moriarty, said Holmes. He's as famous to criminals as my blushes, said Holmes, to the public unknown. What a pocky humor Watson has. Moriarty, the schemer, greatest of all time, organizer of all deviltry, and controlling the underworld with just his mind. What a genius professor was he! But this Porlock, an underling far down the chain, was in contact with Holmes, it appears. 'Twas from him that the coded inscription came, Introduction to Valley of Fear. They decipher with Whitaker's old almanac, not the new one, too up to date. How there is danger may come very soon, an attack on one Douglas of Burlstone House now. But no answer had Sherlock deciphered the code. Then Inspector MacDonald came by. But on seeing the message, it's witchcraft he quotes. Mr. Douglas of Burlstone had died. Holmes and Watson together with Inspector Mac from Victoria Station depart. They reach Burlstone in Sussex, it's just down the track, and are met by White Mason with cart. Soon ensconced at the inn they can hear the details of a case most remarkably queer. It's a real downright snorter, the press will hightail to the case of the Valley of Fear. For John Douglas had taken the manor house o'er and inserted himself in the town. California, the source of his fortune, gold ore, and a much younger second wife now. Also Cecil John Barker, occasional guest, who had known Douglas back in the States. And so this was the cast on the evening in question, the events which the mystery create. At 11:45, when the first alarm shrilled, Sergeant Wilson was quick off the mark. Cecil Barker said Douglas was brutally killed. 'Twas a tragedy terribly dark. Barker, Wilson, and Dr. Wood entered the room where had happened the fatal event. Douglas clad in a dressing gown laid in the gloom, with a shotgun across his chest leant. For the drawbridge was up, blocking means of escape. Did the murderer wade cross the moat? On the floor near the corpse where a card of white lay, where VV341 someone wrote. On the dead man's right arm was the mark of a brand, and his gold wedding ring disappeared. In the corner where footprints where someone did stand, it grew deeper, the Valley of Fear. Interviewing the witnesses, details emerged of the past life which Douglas kept hid. 'Twas a secret society harboring the urge to see Mr. John Douglas stone dead. He was terribly jealous concerning his wife. If a man spoke to her, he'd explode. But she'd gathered tales of his American life and the curse which on his shoulders rode. We never get out of the Valley of Fear. Bodymaster McGinty was named. Watson strolled in the garden and happened to hear as the widow and Barker proclaimed. Holmes suspected the two a conspiracy hatched, for their story was clearly fake news. The most vital of evidence, gun bell unmatched. Holmes continued to follow the clues. When an evening alone in the study Holmes planned, for the genius loci believed, With a borrowed umbrella from Watson at hand, the lost dumbbell he safely retrieved. Unto Barker they wrote that the moat would be drained, and concealed themselves well and observed. After hours of waiting, a yellow light came from the study, and justice was served. Holmes cried now, and they rushed to the study, wherein they found Barker with bundle resumed. When the widow arrived in a state of chagrin, non-dead Douglas emerged from the gloom. For his would-be assassin was shot in the face. They had switched his clothes, so it appeared. It was Douglas who died, and his body replaced in the end of the Valley of Fear. For the scourers of Vermissa Valley had been infiltrated by Pinkerton's man, in the guise of McGinty, who's actually Bertie Edwards. He upset their plan. Their arrest and conviction put price on his head, so to England he soon disappeared. But it was Moriarty who wanted him dead at the end of the Valley of Fear. Enigmatic epistle Holmes opened with dread. Dear me, Mr. Holmes, dear me, it said.